see. So what countries they are using basically this technique? Hot and arid countries means no rainfall or little rainfall. So this is the distillation technique we'll use to obtain the drinking water. So this process is carried out in which place? Desalination plant. So this is the picture of desalination plant which produces large amount of water, drinking water from seawater in Bahrain. So Gulf countries and all, they'll be having a very less rainfall. So in these areas, to obtain the pure water, to drinking water supply, most of the governments, they have been installed this distillation techniques because they need a huge amount of water which is not possible to get through the rains or any kind of underground and all like us, because for them no underground water, for them only what? Underground petroleum mines are there, so there is no drinking water availability. So the only way to obtain the drinking water for them is desalination technique, means obtaining the distilled water from the sea and later add the required minerals for the distilled water and make it into what? Make it into drinking water. Are you understand everybody? Please respond, guys. Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that is what you have to remember it. So this is what is the desalination plants we can say. Of course, Tamil Nadu also we're having desalination plants, but the thing is maintaining cost is too much, crores of money. So that is why we are not showing much interest, because still we are having availability of water resources, so that we are not concerning much about it. But of course, definitely it will be future. Hopefully we need a lot of desalination plants, as it we are having water availability is decreasing, so pure water availability is decreasing. So to meet the drinking water supply, we have to go with the distillation technique only. So that is what very important. Maybe future somebody of you may become even a distillation engineer also, construction and all. So we cannot predict it. That is what it is. So this is what is distillation and how we can obtain a salt and as well as pure water from the seawater. Have you understand everybody? Yes, please. All of you. So people will do in this. Basically, we'll pass we will take the seawater in container and we'll start heating so that water vapor will evaporate, and we'll pass that water vapor through the condenser and we'll obtain that pure water through the condenser back. Understand? But salt will be in what beaker? The salt will be in what? Inside the condenser, inside the distillation flask only. So we can obtain the salt also from this. So that is how we can obtain the salt and as well as pure water from the ocean water or sea water by using a technique called as, which technique, guys? By using a technique called as distillation. So this is what is a distillation and how to obtain the salt plus water from the distillation. So distillation is used to separate two kinds of substances. One is what I said. One is we can use to separate what? Hari, to separate solid from a liquid. To separate solid from a liquid. Soluble or insoluble, Mitakshri? Soluble or insoluble, Arun Kailash? Solid from a liquid. Soluble solid or insoluble solid? That is what I must. Soluble solid. Do you understand, all of you? So soluble solid from a liquid, we can use which technique, guys? We can use which technique? Distillation technique we can use. Or else, as I told you, we can use it for another kind of things. What is that? Liquid in a liquid, but that liquid is miscible or immiscible? That is what my question. Let me see who will say. Who will say? Miscible. Miscible liquids. Understanding? Two miscible. Immiscible means we can use separating funnel. Correct, Ready? Correct, Ari?
I
Yes,
told miscible.
we can use separating funnel. Simply we can separate it. We don't need distillation. So two miscible liquids, but both are volatile or non-volatile?
One volatile, one non-volatile.
One volatile, another one is non-volatile. Understanding? Two miscible liquids having different boiling point. Two miscible Miscible liquids, but their boiling points is what? Yes, please. Immiscible, not miscible. Two miscible. MISCIBLE. Miscible liquids, but their boiling points is what? Same or different? Having different boiling points. Okay. Having different boiling points. Is it okay, all of you? Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is what you have to remember. Having different boiling points. It's okay, Divya, you can leave. You can leave. That is what. So that is what we can. So you can see the liquid having lower boiling point distill over first, and then liquid having higher boiling point distilled later. So that is what it will be happening. So all of you observe very carefully, having two different boiling point. For example, observe very carefully, all of you. Here I have a mixture of water and let me take alcohol. So both are same boiling point or different boiling point? Everybody?
Different boiling point.
Different boiling point. So who is having more boiling point and less boiling point? Water is having high boiling point. Alcohol is having low boiling point. So who will evaporate first? Who will boil first?
Alcohol.
Alcohol. Everyone? Yes, please. Answer to my question.
Alcohol.
What will happen?
Alcohol.
So water will be boiling here only, so that I can arrange the temperature here. I cannot heat it. I will heat it till maximum what temperature, Hari? I can heat maximum alcohol boiling point only. Do you understand, everybody? So I will heat till maximum alcohol boiling point. I can monitor the temperature by using what? Mitakshri?
Thermometer.
Thermometer. Understanding? By using thermometer, I can monitor the temperature. Arun Kailash, maximum at what temperature I can use? Boiling point of alcohol. So water will never evaporate. Water will be keep on heating only. But temperature of alcohol will reaches to the boiling point. So that alcohol will fumes. It will form the fumes, and the fumes will be passing through the what? The fumes will be passing through the what? Condenser.
Water.
So yeah, water condenser. So that water condenser will cool it, so that I can obtain the alcohol in where? I can obtain the pure alcohol in beaker, and so that I can separate the alcohol. And here who will be remaining? Who will be remaining here? Water will be
Water.
remaining. Yeah. So like this, we people can separate out. Understand? So two miscible liquids, but they must have what? They must have what?
Different boiling point.
Different boiling points. Understand? So that is what you have to remember. So the liquids having, who will evaporate first? Who will distill first? Low boiling points or high boiling points? The liquids having lower boiling point distills over first, and then the liquid having higher boiling point distilled later. So please note it down. The liquid having lower boiling point distill over first. The liquid having lower boiling point, having lower boiling point, the liquid having lower boiling point distills over first, distills over first, and the liquid having higher boiling point distills later, and the liquid having higher boiling point distills later, or distills later. So that is what it is. So who is having, if you take two miscible liquids, who will first distillate? The liquid which is having low boiling point or high boiling point? Low boiling point, and later it will causes for next second one high boiling point only. It will be useful to separate it. Understand everyone? So this is what the distillation technique we can use to separate two miscible liquids having different boiling points, or we can use to separate a miscible solid, a soluble solid in a liquid. Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is what it is. Now, if for example, all of you observe very carefully. If for example, more than one solid is there, more than one liquid is dissolved, then how we can separate? That is what it is. So complete separation of two miscible liquids cannot be done by simple distillation. So that is why to separation of two or more miscible liquids, then we will go with the second type of distillation. What is the distillation called as? Everybody.
Fractional.
Fractional distillation. Remember, the liquids which are miscible, two miscible liquids, are more than two miscible liquids, which is cannot be separated by simple distillation. So that is why we can use to separate two or more miscible liquids, and also their boiling points also not closer. Then we can use a separation technique called as fractional distillation. For what is that, guys? Fractional distillation. Okay, so that is what it is. So please write it. The complete separation of two miscible liquids, the complete separation of two miscible liquids, two miscible liquids cannot be done by simple distillation. Cannot be done by simple distillation. So to separating two or more, which technique will use? For complete separation of two or more miscible liquids, for complete separation of two or more miscible liquids. So their boiling point is closer or very far? They will be closer also. Do you understand, Mitakshri? If it is simple distillation, their boiling points must be having different. Understand, Amma? More difference. But if we'll go with the fractional distillation, their boiling points are closer also, we can separate it. Do you understand, all of you? Yes, please. Nobody will answer.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So simple distillation, their boiling points must be having some difference. But in fractional distillation, their boiling points are little closer also. We can separate them easily. Understand, Arun Kailash? Yes, everybody? So that is what it is. So two or more miscible liquids, the process of fractional distillation is used. The process of fractional distillation is used. So this is what it is. So we will study what is this fractional distillation, and as well as to separation of immiscible liquids, we can use some technique. Anybody can tell me immiscible liquids? Fractional distillation for miscible liquids. Immiscible liquids, we can use some technique. Anybody?
Separating funnel.
Separating funnel. So that separating funnel and as well as fractional distillation, we will study in tomorrow's class. So this is all about the today's class. So today's class we study only distillation. So distillation is the separation technique we can use for what purpose? Separating soluble solid from a liquid, or two miscible liquids, but their boiling points is what? Same or different? They must have different boiling points, and one liquid must be evaporate fastly and one liquid must be evaporate slowly. Means their boiling points must be having some difference. Then only it is possible to use a separation technique called as what? Simple distillation, or we can say normally distillation. So if the boiling points are very closer or more than one miscible liquids is there, then which technique will use? Anybody? Which technique
Fractional
will use?
distillation.
fractional distillation. Remember, if the boiling point is little bit more difference, we can go with the simple distillation or distillation. If the boiling points are closer each other or more than one miscible liquid is there, then we can use a separation technique called as what separation technique? Nobody knows. Fractional distillation. What is that? Fractional distillation, when the boiling points are enough closer. Is it okay, guys? Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
That is what you have to remember. So let it be with this. I'll stop. Then from here we'll continue in the next class and we'll carry on. So thank you, everybody. We'll meet in the next class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.